What is up, YouTube? Today, we're taking a look at the best revised SMG-45 attachments and calibrations in Delta Force. The SMG-45 has been one of the best SMGs in the game ever since the initial release. I've already created builds for it every single time that a change has happened or I have discovered a new, even better combination. And now that the console release of Delta Force is here, there's a lot of players asking for slightly easier to control recoil while keeping the rest of the stats almost intact. That's exactly what I have got for you today. This third, maybe final version of the SMG-45 has everything anyone would want. The recoil is minimal while having some of the quickest ADS times and ADS movement speeds possible in the game, and at the same time having very little visual recoil. My previous build had even less visual recoil, but I realized that sacrificing just a tiny amount of stability, we could gain a 17% increase in recoil control, therefore making the weapon even more accessible and maybe just straight up overpowered. These stats, along with the 298 millisecond time to kill that it has, makes it almost the best weapon at every single scenario in the game, but I want you to let me know what you think of it in the comments. With all of that said, let's get into the attachments. As always, we begin with a blank SMG-45, starting off with the barrel where we go for the SMG-45 Fission Long Barrel. Not only does it have an extremely good balance of stats, but it also gives you all these new slots which we are going to use, while it doesn't really hurt anything else, therefore allowing us to set up for a really good combination all the way at the end. Therefore, let's put on the SMG-45 Fission Long Barrel. Next up is the muzzle, where we could go for one of two choices here, either the titanium contest muzzle brake if you want the perfect ratio in between vertical and horizontal recoil, because as you can tell here in the detailed stats, it does exactly that. It lowers the vertical and horizontal by the exact same amount. And as a bonus, it gives you better firing stability, which is always great to have so that the randomization in between your shots is not too high. Now, the second choice that you have here, if you care more about vertical recoil and being suppressed, would be the SMG Echo Suppressor. I'm not going to recommend it as the main build today, but just keep in mind that if you don't really want the titanium contest muzzle brake, then just go for the SMG Echo Suppressor. This is another really good choice here if you want to be suppressed. For our main build though, we're going for the titanium contest muzzle brake, so let's put it on. Next on the foregrip, the X25U angled combat grip. Although it hurts your handling and stability by a little bit, we're going to fix both of those. And the big thing about it is that it gives you a huge amount of vertical and horizontal recoil control, and when you pair that up with the muzzle device that we put on earlier, you're really not gonna have very much recoil on this weapon given the 605 rounds per minute that it has for the fire rate. So today we're going for the X25U angled combat grip. For the left rail and the right rail, we really can't put on any handguards or anything, and same thing with this second upper rail all the way on the top here. On this one you can put on handguards. So in every one of these slots that you can, let's put on the KC Hound handguard panel. Each one of these panels is going to be giving us +1 to our stability stat, and this is pretty much the only stat in the game that is completely linear until you start experiencing the diminishing returns all the way at the end. And because we need as much stability as we can get right now to get rid of that visual recoil, this is a great addition to include, and we're going to make it even better, but this is a good start here with our +4 extra stability. On these slots, if you really want to, you could choose one of these slots and put on a laser, but I don't really recommend it anymore because it does show your position just for some help in your ADS speeds. So I don't really think it's worth it, but if you really want to include it, this is where you would probably put it on here. The upper rail is the one that I would choose for that, or you could choose the left or the right rail. Just make sure to only choose one. You would not believe how many people I have seen running 3 lasers and they don't stack, and so don't fall into that trap. Next up on the magazine, we're going for the 40 round extended mag. The fire rate on this weapon means that we're okay with just 40 rounds. A 45 would be preferable, but we don't have access to that, so let's just go for the 40 round magazine. Don't forget to put it on. And same thing here for the SMG Mag Assist. This is just +1 extra handling. It's just free handling, so let's put it on. For the optic, it is purely preference. I just, as always, go for the Cobra accuracy sight because there's no need to put on a riser if you have this sight on. That's why I really like it. I know a lot of people also go for the OKP7 reflex sight. This is another choice, but again, this is all preference. I would just go for the Cobra accuracy sight because it doesn't hurt any of your stats at all, and it's already on a riser. So the iron sight posts don't block your view, therefore it's the best one in my opinion. So let's just put it on. Next up on the rear grip, we're going for the AR heavy tower grip because it that gives us a new slot, which is the grip mount, for which we can then put on the stable grip base. This is going to give us that little bit of stability that we needed all the way at the end, while only really hurting our handling by a bit, and you'll see at the end of the build that we're going to have amazing handling, so don't even worry about this number here. What we care about is this stability number that is increasing so much that our visual recoil is almost going to be non-existent. And last but not least, on the stock, we're going for the Elite Light stock because it helps your handling in the way of ADS walk-in speed by a huge number. You can see how big of a difference this makes, which if you're using an SMG, this is huge. You're going to want that, and it gives you a little bit of extra control. As you can tell, this is already amazing, and you're going to see it after the calibration. It's going to be even better. So for now, let's just put on the Elite Light stock. Now this is the finished build, and it's already extremely good, but we're going to make it even better. Let me show you the baseline stats before the calibration first here, where you can see that the detailed stats show that our damage fall-off multiplier, we have just increased the amount of range that we can use the weapon in due to the barrel change that we made. But let's move on to the control, which will be changing with the calibration. We have already gotten rid of about 43% of the recoil. This is actually insane, and we're only going to get rid of more. You'll see in a second. The firing stability is extremely good already, so you're not going to have much randomization on these shots. So it's truly just going to be a pull down and left just a tiny little bit. That's really what you're going to have to do, and I will show you that later too. But for now, let's move on to the handling so you can see the baseline, which is already extremely good. 300 milliseconds of ADS speed is very good already, and of course we're going to make this even better. We're actually, a spoiler, going to put it down to like 266 milliseconds. It's going to be great. And the ADS movement speed is extremely high, and we're only going to make it better. Moving on to the stability, you can see that our numbers are extremely good already. You can actually hold your breath for pretty much a full magazine, which is great to have because it reduces your recoil whenever you're holding your breath. Our movement stability and our breath sway range are going to change a little bit. It's going to get a little bit worse in that scenario, but this won't affect you at all, so don't even worry about that. The one that truly matters here is the current lens stability while firing, which is your visual recoil. This is the big number that we all care about because visual recoil is a big deal. And as you can see, this is already amazing, and it's not going to change due to the calibration, so you're really not going to have much visual recoil. Now let's move on to the calibration so that we can make the weapon even better than it already is. Starting off with the barrel, where we move the weight limit all the way down to the minimum for the extra ADS movement speed. We want to be extremely fast because it is an SMG, and the length all the way down to the minimum so that we can have even better ADS speed. We don't care much about muzzle velocity because again it is an SMG, and all you really have to do is lead your target by a couple meters if you're trying to go for those extreme long shots, which is actually possible on the SMG-45. This thing is actually better than most rifles. The firing stability is going to decrease also, but it's so good already that a -4% really won't affect you too much. Next up is the foregrip, where all we can do is move the thickness, which goes all the way down to the minimum for the extra ADS movement speed. Again, gotta stay fast. Let's move on to the rear grip now, where we move the weight limit all the way to the maximum. For the extra control, we want to make it even easier to control, and the thickness all the way down to the minimum for the hipfire aim speed, which if you're new and you don't know, the hipfire aim speed does not actually relate to how fast you go from sprinting to hip firing. It doesn't do that. It actually just affects your ADS time. I'm not sure why they decided to name it that, but that is what it affects. So you're going to be ADSing much faster because of this. Next up is the stock, where we move the weight limit all the way to the maximum for the extra control once again, and the placement all the way down to the minimum for the extra ADS speed once again. You can see why this is going to have such great handling. And last but not least, on the optic, we move the eye relief all the way down to the minimum so that you can see as much as possible inside of your optics window. And now let's go back to the detailed stats so that I can show you exactly what we have done to it through calibration. Damage fall off multiplier again is not going to change. So let's move on to the control. That now you can really see that we have decreased the recoil on it by about 51%. This is ridiculous. And with our current firing stability being around 0.97, you're not going to have as much randomization of your shots as you would really think you would. So this is much easier to control than ever. You won't have a problem with that. And hopefully controller players can let me know in the comments if this works out for you. I'm really curious. Moving on to the handling now, you can see that our current ADS speed is actually insane. It is 266 milliseconds, which is faster than pretty much every weapon in the game right now. On most other weapons, if you want this good of ADS speed, you would have to actually get rid of a lot of your recoil control. Just make a big sacrifice to get this, but not on this one. We can do both. And same thing with the current ADS movement speed. This is an insane number. 3.62 meters per second is very fast in the game, and you're going to feel it as you're strafing left and right, and people will miss you quite a bit. So this is a great stat to have. Moving on to the stability, as you can tell, again, not much much has changed here, which is a really good thing so that we don't have much visual recoil due to the current lens stability while firing. You would have a lot of fun with it, I think. And now that you know the stats and we have dialed in our attachments and calibration, let's hop into the firing range to see how it handles. For this first magazine, I'm not going to control anything at all. I'm actually taking my mouse completely off the mousepad so that you can see what it does without me doing anything. And as you can tell, there was pretty much nothing. It's kind of funny actually how little recoil that has without me controlling anything. So for the second magazine, I'm actually going to be controlling it, but without holding my breath, and you can really see how easy this is. There's shots landing right on top of each other right after one another. And guess what? For the third magazine, I'm going to hold my breath. You can see the lungs in the bottom left there. And it just makes it even easier. This should be an extremely easy weapon for you to control. I actually pulled down too much because of how easy it was to control. So let me try that one more time. That's just proof there of how just simple it is. So I think you would really enjoy this because the stats on the weapon are absolutely insane. The SMG-45 might be the best weapon in the game right now, for which I'm glad that the support class actually gets at least one weapon like this. I really hope that you like it as much as I do, and hopefully it performs as well as I think it will for controller players. Let me know. And now that we have the build locked in, let's jump into a 114 kill game in trench lines to see the setup in action. Enjoy! We're in trench lines with the SMG-45, which is one of the easiest weapons in the game to use, and one of the most effective overall, to be honest. Let's just keep healing everybody here because I am playing Toxic. Hopefully she doesn't kill me. Good. As you saw there, that's our huge ADS walking speed buff here that we have. Not buff, but just the stats. The ADS walking speed on the SMG-45 is absolutely insane on this build. And we don't really have any recoil on this bad boy, which is why I like it so much. Sadly, I do wish that it had a couple more rounds, but let's use our ADS walking speed. You saw how many times she missed? That was so crazy. I know there's somebody in here. Yeah. Oh, hold on, heal. Thank you, teammate. Oh my god, my teammate just saved me. Oh my goodness, that is a person right there. Now, we only have 40 rounds on this one, which is the only downside to the SMG-45 that I really find. Everything else is perfect about it, because we are doing 26 damage per shot at a 605 round per minute fire rate. She's really surprised me there while I was talking. And that does set us up for a, oh my god, can you imagine? And that does set us up for a 298, oh my fuck. And that does set us up for her. I can't believe this guy actually tried to get me like that. For a 298 millisecond time to kill. Which is actually really good when you take into account how little recoil this thing actually has and how good the handling is. Whoa. Not gonna lie, I was not expecting all these people to know exactly where I was at. I'm very surprised I killed her, I'm not gonna lie. And I wasn't really going to do anything for the SMG-45. I was not gonna do a revisit like at all. Until somebody asked me in the comments if I was gonna do one. And then I just took a look real quick, see if anything had changed about the SMG-45, and I didn't find anything. But I still tested quite a bit of things. And I realized that I could just make the visual recoil a little bit worse, and it wouldn't affect the weapon like... Oh wait, that's a teammate spawn beacon? I just spent like 50 hours doing that. All these people, let's get them. As they run away, let's get them. Oh no, stop shooting at me. Who is that? Yeah, look at how little recoil this thing has. It's just so crazy to me. These guys just need to redeploy. You don't lose tickets when you redeploy after taking the point. You don't lose them. You don't want to waste times like that. Oh god, oh god, oh god. There's another one. There's actually like 4 more, I think. Gotta be careful though. So I think one of the ones that stayed alive was a medic. Hello. Oh my goodness, how am I still alive? We're going crazy. This is the power of the SMG-45 right here, to be honest. Look at how crazy this thing is. It's so good. Is that a respawn beacon? Yeah, let's get... Oh. Okay, I wasn't expecting that, like, at all. I completely forgot where I left off, but he should have probably killed me. Oh, well, we were both medics, huh? So he just really focused the medic first, and we were both medics. So as I was saying, I really wasn't planning on redoing the SMG-45 until that comment came in, and that made me test. I wanted to test a couple of things, and I realized that it is possible to just lower the amount of visual recoil that we have, as in the mitigation for it, lower that, to have a little bit extra visual recoil. As long as we keep the rest of the weapon better, as long as we make it better, as in we lower the amount of recoil that the weapon overall has, we're gonna do great. And that's exactly what happened here, because we keep all the amazing, insane handling of the weapon while still keeping great visual recoil and just overall amazing recoil, just in general. Let's pick up these 2 guys here. Oh my goodness. Where'd you come from? Hello. Let's get you too. Oh my goodness, the SMG-45 is just so good. I see you. There you are. There's one. There's another one. And I don't know if there's any more. So I think we're fine now. And honestly, after this revision, I'm not even sure if there's any way that we can squeeze anything out of this. So I really doubt that I would ever do a revision again for the SMG-45. I think the only way that I do another revision in the future for it is if something crazy changes, like some kind of attachment gets a huge buff or something, or just the SMG-45 gets a buff or a nerf. Let's get this guy, and then, okay, yeah, we're good. Keep you too. Oh my god, dude, we're going so crazy right now. Every once in a while, I get on these long kill streaks, and it just feels so good. Not sure about that smoke. Oh, I see your leg. Oh man, I thought I got him. For a second, I was gonna be so happy if I killed him through the wall because of his leg. Okay, that's an enemy. That's two enemies. Hold on, let's get out of here for a second. Who's in here? Who's not in here? There you go. That's one. Let's pick you up. They're like all actually on the point right now. So let's see if I can kill them around the point, surrounding the point, so they have a harder time. I need to reload before I do anything. I do wish we had 45. Ooh, I see you right there. I have the better weapon for that. As you saw there, 79 meters is just absolutely nothing with the SMG-45, which is crazy to say because it is supposed to be an SMG, and SMGs are supposed to be for short ranges. And yet, here we have the SMG-45, which is better than a lot of ARs. Oh, no way, 104. She was already super hurt, though, so I don't know if I would count that. Oh, how about you? Look at that. How many weapons can you really just take fights like that? I mean, 91 meters? She would have probably reacted and been able to run if I was using another weapon. Oh, hey. What you up to over there? What you up to over there with your little arrow? Let's get you too. Yes? Is there anybody on this side of the hill? I know there usually is. Yep, there you go. No way I missed this. No way I missed. Okay, oh my god. That would have been the saddest thing. Yes, yes. Great timing, great timing. I'm glad we were both using the wrong thing at the wrong time. But hers was slower. No enemies, no nothing. We're good. Just people to kill then. Just people to kill. Oh yeah. Going for that headshot. I see you here too. Oh brother, they just don't expect me to be behind. We're actually kind of going crazy on them right now. We keep getting behind them. Let's get you. Or you. And you. There's one more, but I only have 7 rounds, so I really gotta reload. Yeah. Oh, pistol. I had to reload. I did not realize that I was that low on ammo. Pistol came in clutch, though. Oh, hello. 85 meters against a DMR. What the? What the? Where's the respawn beacon? Let's get rid of that. Well, you suffer for it, whether it was you or your teammate. No! I wish I had those 5 extra rounds, the 45 round magazine. Help. Did he just teabag him and ignore me? Just to die? I'm sad. Well, anyways, if you have tried my SMG-45 from the past, you'll notice that this one has a lot less recoil. It's very nice already. That's already a big improvement there because that one from previous barely had any recoil, so I know that this is going to be great for console players. At least the ones that are brand new and don't have an easy time controlling the recoil. I know at least for those players, this is going to be quite nice. Dude, if I... And what's really funny about this one too is that she just destroyed me. Oh, hello. What a spawn. Wait, there's an engineer right here. Let's get him. Oh, that tank is the scariest thing ever. Hey, good job, teammate. Where'd you go? Yeah, what the hell are you doing back there, huh? Let's put out my little guided missile. I'm assuming there's gonna be people right where I just put it. Yeah, I got a couple of them. It's one of my better ones. I usually do pretty bad with those. Wonder if everybody in this game just got infinitely better nowadays. Let's get her. Look at that ADS walking speed. Look at... Oh, if he would have missed that last shot. I see one right behind. I don't know what he's up to there. Hello. Yeah, look at this ADS movement speed. It's so crazy to me how I was able to get the recoil to be better than my previous build by a slight amount there. Well, actually, no, never mind, by a good amount, now that I remember correctly. So I actually had kind of forgotten there. While still increasing or keeping the same ADS speed. Increasing the recoil control while keeping the same ADS movement speed. It's just absolutely crazy to me that that was even possible. Oh yeah, here we go. Now we're in a good spot because everybody else is in front. Everybody's in the front right now. So me being back here is kind of perfect. Let me see if I can get this medic. Yep, there he is. Got him. Oh, that's a teammate. Thought that was an enemy. We're good, we're good. Got him all, got them all. Oh my god, those are mines. I feel sorry if I just blew up. I actually did just blow up my teammate. I got you, teammate. Don't you worry. No. Oh my god, finally. I hear you. I'm not letting you kill me from behind like that. I don't know why he didn't even turn around. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna let you do that. Not gonna let you do that. Oh, he didn't see me? He didn't see me until after I started shooting at him? Hell yeah. 2. There it is. That's the SMG-45. Very good weapon, very good build. I'm so happy that I was able to redo this one. So in the comments down below, let me know what you thought of this brand new SMG-45 build, and if you have a way to improve it even more. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. AuxOwl out.